Hello everyone, my name is Soimah, drill student number 038. I'm from Group 8 and today we will present about syntax, the sentence patterns of language part 2. The first material today is phrase structure rules. The phrase structure rules are a type of rewrite rule used to describe a given language syntax. The pattern of the structure is S and PVP, and the example is he left, who NP is pro, and the pro is he. Pro is stands for pronoun, and the VP here is the V is verb, and the verb is left. Another example is he left quickly, with the NP is pro is pronoun, and the pronoun is he, and the VP is V is verb, and verb is left. And there's a adverb stands for, and this adverb is quickly. The next is non-Chomsky and generative grammar. Non-Chomsky word in 1928 has been perhaps the best known language in the world for more than 50 years, and his interest goes well beyond linguistics. In 1957, he began to revolutionize the study of language with his book Syntactic Structure. And here we will talk about universal grammar, surface structure, and the deep structure. The universal grammar is the system that is the basis for the theory of the inheritance of language acquisitions. The surface structure is refers to an actual utterance that can be broken down by conventional methods of syntactic analysis, and the deep structure is refers to a highly abstract level of language that represents the basic meaning of a sentences. The next material is transformational rules. Transformational rules or T rules relate the form of the sentences or surface structure to their underlying or deep structure. And the example is the boy pats out the candy, or the boy pats the candy out. The pats out is an example of certain types of verbal expressions called phrasal verbs that include a verbal base, the main part of the verb, and the verbal particle, in this case, a preposition in the sentences. The boy pats out the candy. In sentences, pats out is the verb, pats is the verbal base, and out is the verbal particle. We'll continue with my friends.
Okay, my name is Feby with the last number 060. For basic phrases, marker or the tree diagram is a description of the constituent structure or partial structure of the sentence, and it is a sign by the rules that generate the sentence. The phrase marker after the transformational rule has been applied is called the ref phrase marker. One of the syntactic rules applied in a sentence is movement transformation. The particle movement transformation not only explain the relationship between sentence A1 and A2, but also explain all similar sets. Example of sentence related in this way is Anthony took off his shoes, and the other sentence is Anthony took his shoes off. The particle movement transformation is only of one of many movement transformation in which an element of the deep structure is moved from its position in the deep structure to another location. Topicalization is another kind of movement transformation. The topicalization transformation creates a derived sentence with a different focus or emphasis than the basic sentence. Next is the types of transformation. We have seen that the transformation rules relate sets of sentences that have the same element in different places within the sentence. Transformation explains three other processes in addition to movements rule, which is deletion, insertion, and substitution. Deletion transformation is a sentence that undergoes transformation must have the same meaning as the sentence from which it was derived. Transformation never change meaning. In the imperative sentence is you come here. In the derived sentence, the pronoun may be deleted and we can come here, but it has the same meaning as the basic sentence. This transformation is called the imperative transformation. Insertion transformation. Word insertion insert into a basic sentence might not add meaning to the basic sentence. In the sentence, you knew she was here, and the other sentence is you knew that she was here. That is inserted in the second sentence, but that has no meaning. In this case, the addition of that is optional. Substitution transformation. The only substitution transformations are those that substitute a pronoun for some other part of speech or syntactic category. For instance, Anthony thought that Anthony was the best can become Anthony thought that he was the best. This substitution of a pronoun is called a pronominalization transformation. Like all transformation, it does not change the meaning. Okay, and the next material will be explained by Zahrani.
Okay, I'm Zahrani. My student number is 046. So here's optional and obligatory transformations. As with phonological rules, transformations can be optional, stylistic, or obligatory. The participle movement transformation, topicalization rule, imperative transformation, verb phrase delation rule, and pronominalization are all optional rules in English. Here are the example of optional transformation and obligatory transformation, as you can see on our map. And then we move to sequence transformations. A deep structure may undergo many transformations. Consider these two sentences. Did the dog chase? Did the dog chase the cat? The dog was blind. For a child, they would say this sentence separately, but an adult would say, "Did the blind dog chase the cat?" Many transformationalists hypothesize that the deep structure of the adult utterance is similar to the child's use of two sentences. However, one sentence would be embedded in the next as the dog was blind, chased the cat. Then it could be proposed that a series of transformations would apply to change this deep structure into a surface structure. And then I would explain other material, grammatically judgment, and ambiguity. As you know, our subconscious knowledge allows us to know whether something is incorrect or correct. If you are a fluent speaker, your subconscious knowledge allows you to produce well-formed sentence and also recognize ill-formed sentence. As you know, a sentence is grammatical well-formed if the sequence of words and the relationship between words conforms to the synthetic knowledge rules of fluent speakers of language, and if the sentence contains all of its required components. The example are, she went up the stairs in a hurry. And a sentence is ungrammatical, ill-formed, if the sequence of words and the relationship between words does not conform to the synthetic knowledge rules of fluent speakers of language. And the example are, is she went the stairs up in a hurry. Okay, the next material will be explained by my friend. Thank you.
My name is Dewi Avidasari with my last three digits up to the number 058. Okay, so next, about grammatically judgments about completeness. So all English sentences include a verb. For example, that house not pretty. This is an incorrect sentence because there is no verb. So the correct one must be that house is not pretty. Is the verb. And some words must occur with another word. For example, the verb holds. The boy holds. This is incorrect. And the correct one is the boy holds a ball. Because the word hold is a transitive verb. Transitive verb require a direct object. So the next is a grammaticality judgment about word order. English display the word order subject, verb, object, or SVO. For example, you had early get up wanted. The word order can be analyzed as follows: subject, you, helping or auxiliary verb had, verb wanted, verb complement to get up, and adverb early. The SVO word order of English describe declarative sentences but not interrogative or question sentences. Did he see a man? The helping or auxiliary verb is at the beginning of the sentence. Case indicates the function of noun, pronouns, and adjective within a sentence and the relationship of those words to verb and other words within the sentence. Dogs, cats, cats. Dogs is the subject of the sentence or nominative case by virtue of its placement before the verb. Next, grammaticality judgment about word combination. Some lexical categories of words can occur together and others cannot. For instance, the looked is not a possible combination of words in English. The articles a, an, and the do not occur before verbs. So an correct example would be the running of the Kentucky Derby. And adverbs are not used to modify nouns. So the quickly person is home is found ungrammatical. Intransitive verbs such as to fall never take a direct object. So Jack fell is grammatical, but Jack fell the stairs is ungrammatical. Intransitive verb either end a sentence or combined with are modified by a propositional phrase or an adverb phrase. So Jack fell down the stairs or Jack fell quickly is correct. And some verbs may or may not take a direct object. So for example, any train or any train mile. And the next material will explain by my friend.
So my name is Novariza Salsabila and my last student number is 050. There are four non-factors of grammaticality judgments. First, grammaticality is not based on our familiarity with the utterance. It means that even though we are not familiar with the sentence, we have never heard it or seen it before, the sentence can still be grammatical. Second, grammaticality does not depend on our understanding of the words in the utterance. For example, polystyrene microbeads can be coated with a specified sensing ligand. The sentence contains certain scientific words that we might not understand, but it is still grammatical and will be understandable to a person who knows the meaning of all the words. Third, grammaticality does not depend on factualness. The sentence, the President of the United States is a 3-year-old cat, is not factual, yet it is grammatical. Fourth, grammaticality is not based on whether or not the utterance makes sense. The best example of this factor is the Jabberwocky poem by Lewis Carroll. Most English speakers judge this poem as grammatical, although it is full of nonsense words. Next is ambiguous sentence. An ambiguous sentence is a sentence that has 2 or more meanings. There are 3 types of ambiguous sentence. First is lexical ambiguity or polysemantic ambiguity. It involves a word that has more than one meaning. For instance, fish are really smart. They are always found in schools. This sentence becomes ambiguous because the word school has 2 meanings, which is school as an institution for educating and school as a term for a group of fish. The second is structural ambiguity or synthetic ambiguity. It happens when the constituents of the sentence are organized in more than one way. To give an example, Chris owns large dogs and cats. It can be interpreted as Chris owning large dogs and large cats, but also Chris owning large dog and cats in various sizes. So the placement of the words in the sentence makes it ambiguous. The third is part of speech. It happens when various constituents are labeled as different parts of speech or lexical categories. For instance, Andrew will forget tomorrow. In the sentence, tomorrow can act as an adverb, modifying will forget, which will make the sentence mean that by tomorrow, Andrew will forget something. And tomorrow can also act as a noun, which makes the sentence mean that Andrew will forget a specific day or even labeled as tomorrow. Next is synonymous sentences. Synonymous sentences are 2 sentences that have the same meaning. There are 2 ways to arrange synonymous sentences. First, by using 2 synonymous words for the same thing. Let's say felines are more fastidious than canines. That sentence is synonymous with cats are cleaner than dogs, because felines and cats are synonymous and it is the same as canines and dogs. Second, by reorganizing words in the sentence from active to passive verb. To give you an idea, the sentence linguists often use large word. Synonymous with large word are often used by linguists. However, the downside of turning active into passive, it might make a sentence lose one possible meaning. For instance, the sentence from the previous is Andrew will forget tomorrow. If we turn it into passive form, it becomes tomorrow will be forgotten by Andrew. So it loses one of the other meanings since the sentence is ambiguous at first. On the other way, it might also lead to more than one meaning. To show you what I mean, the sentence, the French student was late to class. French can be interpreted as the language of French, but also a name for French people. Besides, it can also make sentence nonsense. For example, a dog ate a biscuit. It will become a biscuit ate a dog. So it will lose its sense. I think that's all from group 8. Thank you.